the biggest thing about Foonf, and really our seats in general, is it's built like an automotive seat. So this is built like a real vehicle seat. Complete metal substructure. You can see from underneath kind of all the metal inside that seat. This we like to call it a tank because it's kind of built like a tank. And that's really the best way to explain it. What makes kind of Foonf so unique is kind of how we started it, is we kind of revolutionized forward-facing safety. The whole point of Foonf is to kind of rear face for as long as possible. So we have the 50 pounds rear facing weight limit. Comes with the steel, get the steel anti-rebound bar, which comes with the seat, and that stops kind of the rebound in a collision. But when it goes forward facing, is really when that revolutionary safety kicks in, because a lot of seats rear facing kind of perform the same, but when you get to forward facing, that's where the performance of seats kind of fall off a cliff a bit. And we've published our data, you've seen it. When you kind of test it with that 3-year-old, which is in and around when you turn forward facing, or should turn forward facing, the performance starts to kind of be the same between forward facing and rear facing. And how we did that is because what's unique about Foonf is you have a rigid latch system. So pull from the front, slides in and out. So when that installs, basically the seat rigidly attaches to your vehicle and it kind of becomes part of the vehicle. And we have a whole aluminum honeycomb, I don't know if you can see that here at all. See that whole piece? Mm-hmm. Well, there's an aluminum honeycomb piece inside that this magnesium base, and what happens is it's going to crumble. It works the same as in your car. So in your bumper, when you get in the collision, kind of the car is designed to, it crumples and slows the collision down, so less force is transferred to the occupant. Same thing happens in the Foonf. So it's rigidly attached to the seat, which allows the seat to propel forward in a collision, crushes the aluminum honeycomb structure, slowing the whole seat down. Think of the end of a roller coaster ride. Right you're going slow in to when you're about to get off, and you get that little jolt right at the end. That's really the change in velocity from acceleration to deceleration. That's what's causing those accidents. It's a smaller example, but one that we can all relate to. So if you can have that happen over a longer period of time, and this is like a physics class all over, but you're not going to change the force, but you have it over a longer period of time, so the peaks are lower. That's what the seat does. It lowers the peak in the collision, so when they're forward facing, their performance is very similar to rear facing. And I want to repeat, we're not saying turn them forward facing earlier, rear facing as long as you can, but when you do, when you're in the seat, you're getting the same rear facing performance. That's what's so unique about this product in the market. So again, rigid latch installation, there's nothing easier than rigid latch, you just click it in. Where our seat is also unique is because it's rigid latch, and you can use belt and rigid latch together. So you can use the latch all the way up to 65 pounds, only seat in the market to do that. Crumple zone system for forward facing. Revolutionary forward facing safety. Narrow seat in the market. It's under 17 inches, at least for a high weight seat. It's under 17 inches wide for 3 across. Now, what's unique about the construction is we get about an inch thick EPP foam along the side here. So you have that side impact system built into the frame in under 17 inches, whereas a lot of people have bubbles on the outside. Ours is built into the inside of the frame. So you have inside layer, outside layer on the frame, and then you have a third with the headrest when it's down. So kind of 3 layers for a side impact collision. Rear facing to 50 pounds, as we said, standard with the steel anti-rebound bar. The thing that you appreciate, the Krypton Green Guard certified fabrics. We again talked about kind of the chemical testing on that, but you also have the benefit of the cleanability of the fabric. The cushion pops off, as some people aren't comfortable cleaning it on the spot because some of the stuff that happens to the cushion is a little nastier. So the cushion actually pops off, and you can remove the fabric to wash it. But I think a unique part about this is, if you look at the bottom of the seat, a lot of seats are just plastic. So when you push, and I don't want to rip on the seats, but you push on it, it just comes to a plastic frame. You can see the thickness. It's about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches of EPP that pushes in. That's actually what the cushion's made out of. And then you have the fabric, then you have the foam on the underside of the cushion. So what that does is actually absorbs the energy. If you think of a hard mattress versus a soft mattress over time, this actually adds cushion. It's one thing people don't see a lot. And also when it comes off, it makes for easy rear facing installation. So as you have access, it's not a blind install for your latch belt or for your seat belt install. I guess that's Foonf in a nutshell.
Okay, what about the differences between Foonf and Fllo?
I'd say the biggest difference is this rigid latch. Everything's tied around this rigid latch system. If there's a situation where you're not going to use rigid latch, or where you're not going to use latch, such as you're going to rear face till the child's 4 and move to a booster, or you're going to go 3 across, there aren't many vehicles out there you can use latch 3 across. Those would be the only 2 instances I'd say use a Fllo. It has it's smaller rear facing profile, but generally speaking, I would say Fllo is for seatbelt installs, Foonf is for latch installs. That's kind of the best way to frame the two. Because again, you're buying the seat because of that rigid latch and forward-facing safety system. The rest of the features are all available on Fllo at $70 less.
Fllo is a little lighter, right?
Fllo, define little. Fllo is definitely lighter. Again, from here up, Fllo is identical. The difference between Foonf and Fllo is really the space, and a lot of that weight that's in there. Forget about the steel frame, but that's all tied to funneling and energy management to, the rigid latch ties it to your vehicle and funnels it all kind of horizontally, whereas Fllo has a different base and is designed to work with the seatbelt. So yeah, I want to say it's about just under 10 pounds lighter.